Hello everyone, welcome to Lukmaan IAS. In our DTRS session today, we are going to discuss 10 important MCQs from current affairs. And through these MCQs, we are going to go through the important current affairs that are important for the UPSC Prelims exam of 2025. As you know, UPSC has announced its prelims notification, exam notification for Indian Civil Services exam as well as Indian Forest Services examination yesterday. And so there are about 979 vacancies, let's say through Civil Services exam, and there are about 150 vacancies through Forest Services examination. So when it comes to filling the prelims forms, right? When it comes to filling the forms and applying for it, UPSC has made a drastic change this year. Okay. So earlier, what people used to fill after, let's say, qualifying prelims, which is DEF 1, and after qualifying mains, which is DEF 2, all of these details need to be filled at the prelims stage itself. And many candidates, right, most of you are not aware about these details. You may be needing some, let's say, support from us. So we are here, right, we are soon going to record a detailed, let's say, video explaining how to apply for the UPSC prelims examination. Okay, so we are soon going to come up with that report, that video related to this. And we have recorded certain parts of the video, let's say in the past. I'm going to put it on WhatsApp status, maybe of the institute. You can see it from there. Okay. And so today at this point of time, we are going to discuss about, let's say many important things. One of the important aspect that we are going to discuss is, we are going to discuss about Paris Climate Agreement. Okay. This is going to be the lead topic for today's discussion. Apart from this, let's say we are going to discuss 9 more topics. So current affair topics, we are going to cover it comprehensively in today's discussion. And also we will go through a quotation. So let's quickly see the quotation. So this quotation is from Kofi Annan. Okay. So Kofi Annan, as you know, he has been the Secretary General to the United Nations Organization. And he says that you cannot have peace without security. You cannot have security without inclusive development. Okay. So here, let's say to see peace in the world, we need to have security for the people. And people will be secure only if there is inclusive development in the region. There is inclusive development in the country. There is inclusive development in the world. So this quotation rightly says that, to have peace, right? To have peace, you need to have security. To have security, you need to have inclusive development. If we, let's say, make sure that all these things are there, only then peace will be there in the region. Okay. So with this, now let us quickly go and understand the list of topics that we are going to cover in today's DTRS session. So one of the topic that we are going to discuss, it is Paris Climate Agreement. Okay. So we are going to discuss about Paris Climate Agreement. Apart from this, we are also going to discuss about Global Biodiversity Framework Fund. Global Biodiversity Framework Fund. Then we are going to discuss about National Mineral Development Corporation, NMDC. We are going to discuss in detail about it. Then we are going to discuss National Impressed Authorization Scheme, which is DIA, Diamond Impressed Authorization Scheme. So we are going to discuss about that also. And we are going to discuss about Asset Reconstruction Companies, ARC. So you can see the topics that we have selected. One topic is from Environment and Ecology. Then this is again from Environment and Ecology. This is something associated with minerals. So it is related with geography and economy. This particular topic is related to government scheme, right? Then this particular topic is from Indian economy. Similarly, if we talk about olive ridley turtles, so it is important under Environment and Ecology. Then Chola period. So we will understand about history also. So you might have heard about Chola dynasty. So we'll understand about an important feature of the Chola dynasty. So this is part of ancient history. So when you read history, when you read art and culture, you come across the Chola dynasty, right? So we'll discuss about that also. And we are going to discuss about constitutional provisions related to SCs, STs, minorities, etc. Okay. Then again, there is another question related to asset reconstruction companies. And one topic is there from places in news, which is about Bolu Mountains. Okay, so we are going to discuss about this as well. So these are the important topics that we are going to cover in today's DTRS session. So one of the topic that is there, so this particular topic, it says, consider the following statements about Paris Climate Agreement. Okay. So we are going to discuss about Paris Climate Agreement. You know that under COP 15, Conference of Parties 15, under the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, UNFCCC, right, Paris Agreement has been adopted by different countries, right, around 194 or 196 countries across the world, they have adopted it. Recently, soon after Donald Trump, became the president, he was sworn in. Soon after that, he has withdrawn United States of America from the Paris Agreement. Okay, so that's why Paris Agreement comes into news once again. That's why we need to learn about this Paris Agreement, what it is all about. We'll discuss about different COPs also. COPs means Conference of Parties. So parties to the Paris Agreement, they meet, let's say, frequently every year, right, at different places in different countries. So we are going to discuss about that also in this question. So it says, first statement says it is a non-binding international treaty on climate change. This statement is wrong because the Paris Agreement is a binding climate treaty. Okay, it's a binding treaty. So first statement is wrong. Then second, it says under the agreement, the global stocktake is a 5-yearly review that assesses the world's progress on climate action. This statement is right because for the first time, right, in recent COP that has happened in Dubai, right, COP 28, the first global stocktake report was released. Okay, so it is envisaged to be a 5-yearly review on the actions taken by different countries who are party to the Paris Agreement. So it was released. So this statement is right. Then third, it says the first global stocktake under the Paris Agreement took place in 2023, concluded at COP 28 in Dubai. This statement is also right. Okay, COP 28 has concluded in Dubai. So this statement is also right. So correct answer is only 2, means second and third statements are correct related to this. So you need to read about it in your free time, right? So this topic is very important under environment and ecology section. Then let's say this is the news article. President Donald Trump signs executive order withdrawing US from the Paris Climate Accord. That's why this topic was in news. Then with this, we are going to discuss about second topic. Okay, we are going to discuss about this particular topic. So what this topic says, it says, which of the following statements is correct about the Global Biodiversity Framework Fund? What? Global Biodiversity Framework Fund. So related to this, which of these statements are correct? So they have given, 4 options. We need to choose the right option. So to save the timing, so I'll tell you the correct option, which is option C. So Global Biodiversity Framework Fund was created under Convention on Biological Diversity to support the implementation of the Kunming-Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework. Okay, so this Global Biodiversity Convention on Biological Diversity, which is also known as CBD. CBD is a very important convention related to climate change. Okay, so this is the thing. So multi-million-dollar Global Biodiversity Framework Fund project to target conservation of Madagascar's threatened species. Okay, so you might have heard about Madagascar Island, right? So Madagascar, is connected very near to the African continent. Okay, it's an island, but very near to the southeastern part, I think, of this African continent. All right. So there, there are many threatened species, and this particular fund actually has earmarked a sizable portion of money for restoration, for conservation, for the protection of the threatened species in this particular region. All right, so that's why it is important. So with this, now let us move to the next question. Okay, what is this question all about? So we will discuss about it. It says, consider the following statements regarding National Mineral Development Corporation, NMDC. You might have heard about NMDC in the past also. Many of you who are into trading and all, so they know this is a company, right? It is a public sector undertaking that performs really well. In the stock market as well. But here we are going to discuss about the core area of operation of this particular company. Okay, what is the core area of operation? Basically, this particular company is involved in extraction of minerals from mines, okay, from ores. Basically, this is the largest, ore extractor related to iron in India. All right. And so this company also extracts diamond, and their major area of operation is Madhya Pradesh. All right. Madhya Pradesh is their major area of operation. So we will discuss about these statements that are mentioned in this question, and we will try to identify which statements are correct, which statements are incorrect. So first statement, it says it is a public sector enterprise under the Ministry of Mines, Government of India. This statement is right, related to NMDC. Second, NMDC is the largest producer of iron ore in India. This statement is also right. The corporation also engages in the exploration and production of diamonds. This statement is also right. So their main area of exploration and production of diamonds is located in Madhya Pradesh, in the state of Madhya Pradesh. It says NMDC was established in the pre-independence era. This statement is wrong because it was established in 1958, right? After independence, okay. So first three statements are correct, means option A is the right answer. What is right answer? Option A is the right answer for this question. Now with this, we will quickly move to the next question. Okay, so it says India's NMDC to extract diamond worth $3.4 million from mine near Tiger Reserve. So there is a Tiger Reserve in Madhya Pradesh. Near the Tiger Reserve, NMDC is going to engage in extraction of, let's say, diamonds. So there may be ecological challenges also. People may come forward, to protest against it. So we need to see what developments happen in the future related to this. Okay, so that topic is important. Now we have another topic. Okay, we will go through this topic. What it says, consider the following statements about diamond impressed authorization scheme. Okay, so this is a scheme, right? Newly announced scheme, diamond impressed authorization scheme. So we'll discuss about this question. Two statements are there. First statement says it has been introduced by the Ministry of Economic Affairs. This statement is wrong, right? Okay. This statement is wrong because it has not been introduced directly by the Ministry of Economic Affairs. Okay, so there is a different department. It is known as Department of Commerce. Okay, which department? It is Department of Commerce, right? That has introduced, in short, DOC, Department of Commerce, which has introduced this. This scheme mandates export obligation with value addition of 10%. Okay, so second statement is right, first statement is wrong. Means whatever diamond that we are willing to export outside India, we need to add value of at least 10% to it before exporting, so that its value increases in the market, so that we become more profitable while doing export of raw diamond. So it says amid fading exports, job losses, new scheme to restore diamond trade sheen. Okay, this is the thing. Now let us discuss about another question. What is this question? Question number 5. Consider the following statements about asset reconstruction companies. What companies? Asset reconstruction companies. Okay, ARCs. You might have heard about these kind of companies in the past many a times, because these companies are involved whenever there is a big corporate house which, let's say, fails to perform well and they are indebted, and now they have to dissolve the company, they have to liquidate their asset. Then asset reconstruction company comes into picture, because they help, right, liquidation of the company, they help recover the kind of amount from the promoters, from the kind of management of the company. So this is the thing, it is associated with Indian economy basically, broadly. So it says it is a specialized financial institution that purchases the bad debts of a bank at a mutually agreed value and attempts to recover those debts or associated securities by itself. This statement is right. It is regulated by SEBI. This statement is wrong. Answer is A only. Why? Because asset reconstruction companies are registered under SEBI. Okay, they are registered under SEBI, Securities and Exchange Board of India. However, these companies are regulated, right? These companies are regulated under SARFAESI Act. These companies are regulated under SARFAESI Act. What does SARFAESI stand for? SARFAESI is a very important thing. It stands for Securitization and Reconstruction of Financial Assets and Enforcement of Securities Interest Act 2002. Okay, so SARFAESI Act of 2002. So under this particular act, let's say like the asset reconstruction companies are regulated. So only option 1 is correct, which is A is the right answer. So new RBI rule mandates stricter oversight on ARC borrower settlements. Okay, so RBI, Reserve Bank of India, has come up with new guidelines, right, for strict oversight on ARC borrower settlement. Maybe let's say asset reconstruction company and borrower, they may go for settlement, but new oversight says that you cannot go for settlement directly. You have to first explore all possible alternatives. All possible alternatives. After you have exhausted all possible alternatives, the last resort would be, let's say, like going for settlement with the borrower. Okay, so this is the thing. Now let us talk about another question. This question is again very important. What is this question all about? This question says, with reference to olive ridley turtles, here we are talking about turtles, right? Turtles, kachua, right? So this is a specific type of turtle which is found very near to Odisha coast. Okay, it is known as Gahir Matha. Okay, name of the place is Gahir Matha, and Rushikulya river is there. So nearby that we find huge number of olive ridley turtles, huge number of these kachua. Okay, so they are very small in size and they have a unique feature. They go for aribada. What do we mean by aribada? Aribada means like they go for mass nesting. Huge number of turtles come together at the same time and they, lay eggs in huge number. That's the thing. So it says they are among the smallest of the world's sea turtles and are found primarily in tropical regions of the Pacific, Indian and Atlantic Ocean. This statement is right. Gahir Matha and Rushikulya in Odisha is known for their unique mass nesting aribada. Okay, mass nesting means aribada. This is a kind of, another name. So huge number of turtles lay egg together. That is known as mass nesting. That is also known as aribada. Okay. So it says IUCN Red List classifies them as endangered. This statement is wrong because IUCN Red List classifies them as vulnerable. Okay. Classifies them as vulnerable, not endangered. So that's why option A is right. Only 1 and 2 is the right answer. Okay. So now let us move to the next question. This is question number 7. Let's discuss about this question. It says with reference to the Chola period. With reference to the Chola period, the term 500 refers to which of the following? It was a merchant cooperation or assembly. Okay, basically during the Chola dynasty, Chola period, Cholas were known as, let's say, one of the greatest warriors. Warriors means they had very strong army, they had very strong military presence. And because of Chola, let's say other dynasties used to stay afraid, right? But the thing is like Cholas were not superior only because of their military power or military strength. They were also having a very strong guild. Guild means like, kind of merchant cooperation assembly where let's say like, some of the biggest merchants of all types, they used to come together. They used to coordinate with one another, right? So that's the thing. Nowadays, like in current world, you might have heard about Fortune 500 companies. The top performing companies in the world like that, or in India, right? So, but the thing is like here, if we talk about this, like, during the Chola period, similarly, those merchants, like people, wealthy people, they had their own grouping, they had their own assembly. So this was known as 500s during the Chola period. Okay. So this is an important feature of the Chola dynasty. You see how a wealthy merchant cooperation powered the Chola Empire and the precious globalization of the medieval Indian Ocean. Okay, so this is the thing. So these are the temples during the Chola period. You might have read about it in NCERT. If you read the art and culture book of NCERT, you will come across it. All right. So now we have another question. Okay. another question. Let's discuss about this question. What it says, consider the following scenarios. We have been given 5 scenarios. I mean, like, 5 statements. It's a long question, but the thing is, in the UPSC paper, 100 questions are there. In GS paper, some questions will be short, some questions will be long. So you need to go through all these questions, and you will get sufficient time to read these questions. So, like, do not feel afraid. Do not feel that like you will not be able to solve the question. This is the time to learn. This is the time to practice, because in UPSC prelims, you just need to solve the question just after reading. So let's read these statements one by one. So first statement says, the president issues notification adding a community to the SC list of states without consulting the state governor. This statement is wrong. Why it is wrong? Because here we are talking about president and governor. Okay, that if the president wants to add a community to the SC list, SC means scheduled caste list, right? If the president of India wants to add a community to the scheduled caste list, it is mandatory for the president to basically consult the governor of the state before doing so. If he does not consult, then it will be unconstitutional. Then it can be challenged in a court of law. So first statement is wrong. Now let us read the second statement. Here, now we are talking about power of parliament. It says parliament can pass a law removing a community from the ST list without constitutional amendment. This statement is also wrong. Why? I mean, like, there are different types of laws that are passed by the parliament. Okay, so there are some constitutional amendment acts also. There are ordinary laws also. So here it generally means, this statement means that parliament can pass an ordinary law to amend the ST list. ST, I mean, scheduled caste. In the Constitution of India, they are mentioned. Okay, so I'll tell you the article number as well, right? In the Constitution of India, it is mentioned. So the thing is, like, Parliament do not have the authority, do not have the power to kind of, remove a community from the ST list without without amending the Constitution. This is Article 342, Clause 2. Okay. So this thing is mentioned under Article 342, Clause 2 of the Constitution. And this is, I mean, like, SC list, it is mentioned under Article 341 of the Constitution. So a constitutional amendment has to happen for adding or removing a community, SC or ST community, from the list. Okay. Then third, the National Commission for Backward Classes recommended including a community in the central OBC list, but the government may reject the recommendation. This statement is right. Okay, so there is a body which is known as NCBC, National Commission for Backward Classes. So they can recommend that a community must be included in the OBC list. They can recommend to the government, but this recommendation of the NCBC is not binding on the government. The government may accept the recommendation, the government may not accept the recommendation. The government may reject the recommendation also. So this statement is right. Fourth, a state government can include a community in the state OBC list without consulting the NCBC. This statement is wrong. If a state government has to include a community in the state OBC list, they have to consult the National Commission for Backward Classes, NCBC, first. Okay, this is wrong. The Supreme Court can strike down a state law providing reservation to a community. This is also right. So third and fifth are right. It means option B is the right answer. Which option? Option B is the right answer. In your free time, read this question once again. Maybe one thought is needed, an additional thought from your side, so that you can solve such questions in the UPSC exam. Study moots inclusion of 197 communities in SC, ST and OBC list. Okay, recently a study has been conducted by Anthropological Survey of India and Tribal Research Institutions. They have said that these many communities need to be included in the SC, ST and OBC list. Now we have ninth question. This is the penultimate question for today. So it says, with reference to the guidelines on the settlement of dues payable by the borrowers to asset reconstruction companies, consider the following statements. So this question is again based on asset reconstruction companies, right? But this question is different, right? And we have asked this question because there was recently a guideline by the Reserve Bank of India. It says settlement with the borrower shall be done only after all possible ways to recover the dues have been examined. This statement is right. Second, the net present value of the settlement amount should generally be less than the realizable value of the securities. This statement is wrong. Okay, only one. I mean, like, it is not mentioned whether it should be less, it should be more. I mean, like, you know, so this is the role of the ARC, asset reconstruction companies. Now let us move to the next question. So settlement of dues only after examining all possible options, RBI to ARC. Okay, so Reserve Bank of India has given guideline to asset reconstruction companies. And this is the last question for the day. And this question is about, let's say, like, you know, mapping section. Okay, places in news type question. So it says Bolu Mountains. Okay, here we are talking about mountains, Pahad, Bolu Mountains, seen in the news recently are located in which one of the following countries? Where it is located? Bolu Mountains. So this particular topic was recently in news. Okay, that's why we have asked. So it is located in Turkey or Turkey. So why it is in news? Because like in Turkey, what has happened? In one resort, there was a fire. Okay, because of that fire, huge number of people have been killed. Around 176 people have been killed. Or no, only 76 people have been killed. Okay, so that's why it is in news. So this Bolu mountain is in news. That's why. Okay. Turkey sky resort fire kills 76. Forces guests to jump from windows. Huge number of people, I mean, like, jumped from windows. That's why it was in news. All right. So we at Lukmaan IAS are running multiple programs. If you are interested, you can simply give us a call and we are going to help you with that. So that's all from my side for the day. Thank you so much everyone for attending today's session.